So 2026 is around the corner, and more than likely in the next 2 weeks, you're going to be sat there writing your nice big list of goals, targets, objectives that you need to achieve, smash, conquer, get serious. This is your year. But let's be honest with ourselves, we do this every single time. And the reason that it doesn't feel any different is because there's more than likely two psychological traps that you're walking straight into over and over again, and why you're not seeing the change. And so in this video, I want to break down to you exactly what those two traps are, what I've learned to best avoid them, and a better way to now plan your goals so you can hopefully actually get some meaning throughout your entire year and really see a change in 2026. So we're going to jump straight in. So the first trap I want to tell you about is called the fallacy of arrival. And it's basically the concept of a future-focused happiness. It's the ideas of, once I achieve or hit X, then my life will finally feel good. I just need that promotion and then I'll be happy. Delaying the satisfaction to a future version of you. Once I'm the type of guy that can finally be a businessman or finally be serious about my training, then I'll be happy with myself. And you're just constantly treating success like an escape hatch. Like there's something wrong with the current moment, and that there's a future place that you need to get to. And believing that the pressures that you feel around your goals at the moment or who you are just going to disappear once you get to this imagined place. And this is something we've all done. I at least have done many times. Told myself that there's, once I get that promotion, like once I hit that stage within the company, or, once I'm able to lift that weight or get that physique, then I'll be good. And you realize so quickly that when you arrive there, nothing has actually changed. And you're the same guy, you're the same man, now you just got different responsibilities. And so it's the motivation, the fuel that you had instantly is gone. You've got such a future-based process or focus, it's all about just getting there as quick as possible. And there's no actual enjoyment in the journey. Let me just get there, let me just get the promotion and then I can breathe. And so you probably already know this, but any focus that completely takes you away from the now and puts such an emphasis on the future is probably not going to be fulfilling in the long term. And then trap number 2, we have what's called the hedonic treadmill, which is basically the idea that homeostasis kicks in quicker than we realize. And what that means is that our nervous system just brings us back to normal, and we adapt. We adapt to all the things bad and good that we said would make us super happy or super miserable. And actually, things kind of adapt. And then trap number 2 is something called the hedonic treadmill, which is basically understanding that our body actually just returns us back to baseline. And so here it's the idea of, thinking that a certain level of income would make you happy. But, once you start making 4 or 5 grand per month, you actually realize, now I want to make 10 grand per month, 15 grand per month, because this is what I need. You have a relationship and the honeymoon starts to fizzle out. And now it's kind of like, oh, why does the relationship feel so normal? I want to go back to the good old days. Achieving being an entrepreneur full time, or, becoming a director in a company. And now suddenly wanting the next promotion, you just constantly want more, basically, is the idea here. So that's the hedonic treadmill, and you can very quickly see how this leads to just a life of no fulfillment, bro. Because, we hear the examples all the time about the millionaire or billionaire that's just completely depressed. And, because once you're making 15, 20, 100K per month, it's going to be harder and harder to find things that actually give you that same sense of pleasure. So when you're the billionaire, this is what I imagine, obviously we can only imagine. But when you're that billionaire who just has everything and doesn't know where to go to get more, what do? The same happens in the gym, I can tell you right now and be honest with yourself, you've already achieved a physique that you said would make you happy. You're already lifting weights that you said would make you happy. And now you're still looking in the mirror, comparing yourself to someone and thinking, fuck, okay, I just need my shoulders to boost, to boulder out a little bit more. Okay, cool. I just need that middle part of my chest to fill up more. When I finally, now it's just the quads. Like just a bit more definition in my quads. Then I'll be good. I swear, then that's it. peak physique achieved. You're not seeing it. You're on the treadmill. There's just always another thing that you're going to need to finally get that fulfillment, and it's not going to come. And so there needs to be a change in how we plan and quote unquote set our goals. And I want to tell you a better way that I'm trying out. What you need to do is find goals that are basically what you need to do. So what I'm learning, bro, and what I think you need to do. So what you need to learn to do, bro, is find goals that force you to fall in love with the process, that are hard to complete or you can never complete, and are just basically games for the sake of being in the game. And so what I mean is these are areas like business, health, good quality relationship. Think about it. How can you complete if your goal is to become just a better businessman, for example, or just a better salesman, if that's the role that you're in? That's very hard to complete. What's the quote unquote best salesman? What's the quote unquote best business owner? You constantly upgrade, you constantly become better year on year. And I can't speak for you what those areas are, but there will be areas to improve. Health. Become stronger, fitter, someone that is just constantly someone that pushes themselves in their session and finds new limits to break through. Relationship, someone that just becomes a better and better loving husband, partner, whatever, support figure, whatever it might be. And notice how these goals force you to kind of go internally and shift your identity of who you are, rather than this external process-based outcome. And that's basically the trick here. Instead of these external goals of this is the tangible process or outcome that I need to see, you need to go internal and focus on who you are becoming. And it sounds so cliche, but this is really where the fucking source is. Because if your goals are rooted in identity and like who you're becoming, then again, another cliche, compare this to completing a video game. You've completed the video game, you've achieved all the goals, you've unlocked everything. How quickly does the game become boring? We all know this. What you then end up actually reflecting back on is the times of the struggle, the times of a little setback and then making 2 steps forward, figuring out this specific part about how to learn this skill, how to finally master objections, how to finally get that technique right on your deadlift. So many different examples that I can give. It's that process of figuring out setbacks forward, 2 steps back, 1 step forward. I'm waffling here. You know exactly what I mean. That's where the magic is. All right, slight little rant there, but I think you get the message. To just conclude it, the point is to make your goals focused on the process, because if your goal is just to be in the game, then you're hitting your goal without there being some end destination. If right now your goal is just to train your hardest in every session that you have, then that's all your goal is, train your hardest. And so the physique doesn't matter. It's just being in the game of it. And I really think this just makes so much sense, because the goals that we get told to set, like, oh, hit this promotion, become a business owner, find a hot girl and get married, make, 10K a month. These are all they're goals just set on like moments, and moments make up like 1% of your life. Like, it's the everyday that you want your goals to be set in. Like, every week, how are you training? Every week, how do you do business? Every week, how do you show up in your relationship? That's what makes up 99% of your life. And so that's where you should be focused on, and where the fruits of your labor will show the most. A slight rant there, but I really hope this helps you, bro. I hope this helps you plan better goals for your 2026 and actually find meaning in what you're doing, opposed to this random arbitrary goal or end destination. And yeah, if it's actually caused a shift, maybe drop something in the comments. Would love to see your feedback. As always, God bless.